Welcome to Security Nation, the podcast that connects everyone in the electronic security and life safety industry. We bring on security pros to discuss the latest industry happenings, new technology, best practices, and work together with our peers to be the ever-present voice in an ever-changing industry. Today, we have Kirk MacDowell, President of MacGuard Security Advisors Incorporated and Chairman of ESA's Leadership Identification and Nominating Committee, or known as LINC. Today, we're going to be interviewing our Associate Director nominees for ESA's election. Kirk will be able to go over some of those details here with us today, and we'll be interviewing each of the nominees in this contested election. So, Kirk, why don't you take it away and explain what's going on with our listeners?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Hannah. And thanks, ESA members. This is a contested election, and usually when you hear the word contested, you think it's negative. This is absolutely positive. Because we have 4 people running for one position, and that's great. I think that's it's evident about the value that ESA brings to our members. And last week, you may have seen, or in a previous broadcast, you may have seen that we did, and we interviewed, Hannah and I interviewed the integrator members who are running for office, and now we're interviewing today associate members running for office. So we have one position available. We have 4 people running. We're going to interview those 4 people today.
Excellent, excellent. So maybe Kirk, as chairman, maybe you can give us some details, and I should say LINC's chairman, not ESA's chairman. Tell our listeners a little bit the details, maybe important dates ESA members should mark on their calendars for this election, and maybe a little bit about the role of associate director on ESA's board of directors.
Yeah, so let's talk about the role first, and then we'll come back to the dates. The role's very, very important. These 4 people have committed. They've been vetted by the LINC committee and also by ESA. They've been vetted to make sure that when they're elected, and if elected, they are representing the interests of all of the associate members, not their just particular company. And so it's a big role. You have to take that hat off of your own company and put on hat of representing the industry. And I have no doubt that these 4 candidates would do that. Dates to remember. The specific dates are the ballots go out May 12th, and the ballots will go out to the primary and alternate voting members of ESA membership companies in all categories. So they go out on the 12th. They are due back on June 6th at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, where Jake will pull those in, and then he will tabulate the votes, and he will call me. I make it my rule not to find out how people are doing throughout the process until it's over at 2:01 on June 6th. So those are the dates that are important to remember. I also want to give, Hannah, if you're okay with this, a little thank you to the LINC committee, who are made up of our peers who are fantastic individuals. It's Kelly Bond, Joe Colosimo, Mark Hillenberg, Tracy Larson, Stu Forsheimer, and of course, ESA chairman Kevin Stone. We make up the LINC committee, and I have to tell you that I'm very, very excited to work with these individuals on the LINC committee. So, Hannah, what would you like me to do? You want me to just move ahead and start asking the questions?
Yeah, we can for sure move into jumping into the questions with our nominees here. But just one thing I wanted to add, you said when you were explaining the election process and important dates, you referenced that Jake will be the one that'll be counting the ballots. And I just want to let our listeners know that is Jake Bronger with our VP of Public Affairs and Advocacy on ESA staff, not Jake Voll here, who is one of the nominees. That would be a little bit of a conflict of interest. So I just thought I would clarify there.
To be clear, though, I would count them fairly, but I think it's probably best practice not to have me do it.
Absolutely.
And Hannah, thank you so much. I also want to make one other clarifying comment, too. I serve on ESA board of directors, but I'm not elected. So I have no conflict here. And the reason I'm not elected is 2 board members serve at the direction of the chairman, and we are called competency directors. Don't laugh when I say that, but we are called competency directors. My wife always teases me when she hears that. And so we are appointed by the chairman. All right, let's get started. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start with Colby, then we're going to go to Jake Voll, the non-vote counter. Then we're going to go to Jana, and then we're going to go to Tony Wilson. And it shows up as A. Wilson, which is Anthony, but we call him Tony for short. So Colby, tell us, and I'm going to ask you to keep this short, all of us. Tell us a little bit about your background first, and then pause for a second. Tell us a little bit about, if elected to the board of directors, associate member, what do you bring to the table and what do you want to see?
Yeah, thanks, Kirk, and really happy to be here. I'm Colby Monachino. I'm the Chief Operating Officer and co-founder at Monachino Partners. We're a mergers and acquisitions firm that provides hands-on brokerage and consulting services within the security, fire, and life safety industries. We work hands-on with alarm dealers if they're looking to sell or looking to acquire. My father, Joe Monachino, is my business partner. He's been in the industry a little over 40 years. So similar to a couple people on this call, I've been involved in and around the industry pretty much my whole life. Prior to Monachino Partners, I worked at Alarm Connections. I was their Central United States relationship manager. So I oversaw acquisitions and dealer management there. Alarm Connections was an acquisition-based company providing growth capital to local alarm companies, allowing them to stay in business, continue servicing the customers and the communities that they were in. A really great experience for me. Within the territory, I was able to oversee a lot of the operations. I oversaw a portfolio that consisted of a little over $650,000 of RMR. So was able to oversee the acquisition process from start to finish. Through both companies, I've spent a lot of time on the road, meeting with alarm dealers, attending industry events, speaking to industry groups, as well as trade associations. But most importantly, I've been able to spend a lot of times helping companies grow and evolve and navigate a lot of big decisions. And it's been incredibly rewarding to play a role in that and helping businesses either grow and achieve to where they want to get, or, get to that next chapter in life where they retire.
So Colby, what would you, if you were elected to the board, what would you bring? What do you bring? I think we know what you bring to the table because you talked about your background, but what would you like to see happen on the board? How do you believe you would participate in the board?
Yeah, I would bring, I think, three key strengths. I would say I'd bring a member first mindset, relative industry experience, which I touched on, and, a collaborative forward looking approach that prioritizes advocacy, education, and member engagement. My background, where I started before security, was in the trade association space at the National Federation of Independent Business. So I developed there a deep appreciation of staying actively involved in the industries. So when I came over to the security space, that was a priority of mine. I spent a lot of time on the road there as well, engaging members through political grassroots advocacy. And through that, I saw, firsthand how trade associations can shape the respective industries that they represent, as well as the businesses. But most importantly, associations really aren't what they are without good members and good involved members. So on the board, I would place a strong priority in that, in engagement. And then, in the trade association space as well, in security, I've been able to be involved on ESA's government relations committee, had the ability to travel to DC and put the member hat on. But most importantly, I've been able to, through both, work with companies of all sizes, but most importantly, small businesses that are the backbone of their economies. So I'm excited to bring that experience and perspective to the board to help drive membership growth, deepen member engagement, and ensure ESA continues to lead and involve a strong voice for the industry.
Great. Thanks, Colby. Appreciate it. Jake Voll, my friend, tell us a little bit about your background first, and then go into what you would like to do if you were elected to the board of directors.
Sure. Well, I'm glad to be here. My name is Jake Voll. I'm the founder and CEO of SS&SI Dealer Network. We're an independent distributor of security and low voltage products, and we serve just over 1,000 security integrators nationwide. I always say that I am the son of a door-to-door alarm salesman. My dad started in this industry selling alarm systems door-to-door and would eventually go on to start his own company. Actually, and I've known Tony since I was a very little kid because Dad monitors with CMS, and grew up in this business and developed a real love for it. Many of our family vacations were industry events, and back then I found myself to be the youngest person in the room. I'm seeing that less and less now as my grays are starting to come in. But from a very early age, just developed strong relationships with dealers. Ended up deciding not to go into the family business on the serving end users through my dad's alarm company, and made what I would consider to be an interesting decision, maybe not anticipating the challenges I might face getting into the distribution business. It was nice to be able to be in an adjacent business in the same industry, and be able to leverage all those things that I learned working in the family business growing up and building relationships with so many awesome people in the industry. We've grown over the past few years, now shipping from Florida, Alabama, and Tulsa to dealers all over the U.S., everything from small mom and pop alarm companies up to some of the best companies on the SDM 100. And for me, one of the coolest things I've been able to do within the past few years, we bought a Facebook group. And this was a weird one. Bought a Facebook group, which at the time had over 3,000 folks in it, Burglar Alarms Online. Now has over 10,000 folks that represent a really broad spectrum, a cross-section of the industry, if you will, of folks that are involved in the day-to-day business of running alarm companies, central stations, manufacturers, and even other distributors. And I think that it's really plugged me in a way that I never anticipated to the people of the alarm industry, the professionals of the alarm industry, the small business owners, the managers, the technicians in the field. And so for me, obviously, that was a great opportunity to build my business. But more than that, it was a really great opportunity to build relationship with so many people in the industry and have a connection to those people, to their problems, to the opportunities. Every week we host a weekly conference call with folks from all over the country and even some folks chiming in from around the world. And we talk about running a security business. We talk about the challenges that they face and how they can grow their businesses.
Hey, Jake,
I think, oh, go ahead.
Jake, how would you use that knowledge then if you were elected to the board?
Yeah, so great question. So I'm excited to be able to bring all of those things, all of those conversations, those challenges, those priorities that we're able to that I learned from these dealers to the ESA board. I want to be the voice of those dealers, of those techs, of those managers and the business owners and the central station folks. I've had the opportunity to serve as the associate member director for the Integration Association of Florida, formerly the Alarm Association of Florida, for 2 years. Stepped down from that position because I believe that the great progress we've made on a state level can be made at the national level, and I want to promote the same kind of engagement. I want to help recruit dealers, and most importantly, I want to bring their voice to ESA, to the table on the board of ESA. That's what I'm excited to do.
Thanks, Jake. Appreciate that. Jana, good to see you, and tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm a bit of a unicorn, I think, on this call. I might be the only person that didn't grow up in the industry. I began my journey in the security industry in 2002, shortly after 9/11, within the year of 9/11. And I began as an integrator in Columbia, South Carolina, working with a local company. I really had no idea what I was stepping into, but I definitely found my calling and I definitely found my home. I was really drawn to the technology and how integration and using the different parts and pieces of the electronics can secure people. It can make them safer. And I really found a lot of joy in educating the end user in how those tools could better impact not only their business, but their family as well. I transitioned to the manufacturing side where I've spent the majority of my career. I find tremendous joy and fulfillment in helping integrators find solutions that positively impact their business, that fix a problem or find a solution for an integrator that maybe has been a stumbling block for not only their business or maybe for their end user. And I've developed and built pretty strong relationships and aligning strategies with sales execution to drive a meaningful result. I find the security industry to be incredibly fulfilling, and it's a privilege to be a part of the community. What I would bring to the table, I think is how you worded it originally, is what do you bring to the table? I come with a different perspective from some of the maybe some of the existing board members. I've been an integrator, I've been on the factory side, and now with the acquisition that ADI made recently, now I'm a distributor. So it's definitely I think a unique perspective that I'm able to offer because I have been in multiple facets of the industry, and I can offer insight from multiple points of view to the board. I definitely am prepared to be an advocate for our industry as far as influencing legislation and regulations. I am a deep advocate, strong advocate for education. As I travel around the country, one of the things I hear again and again from our partners is that there is a lack of talent and there's a lack of staffing. And so I think that we have to focus on education and training, but we also have to attract new young team members. We have to continue to fill the quiver with new talent. And so I think that there's through collaboration and networking, I think that we can build our industry. We can create stronger ties between the members of the organization, manufacturers, and partners.
Jana, thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. Tony, tell us a little bit about your background, and then, what do you bring to the table? What would you like to see as a director?
Well, thanks for the opportunity. I have known Jake and his dad. I've known Colby and his dad forever. So yes, that's maybe one of the best things about this industry and being in it so long, is all the relationships that we've built. But I started 40 years ago when I was in high school. My dad bought CMS, and it's hard to believe it's been that long, but I went to college, got out of college with a finance degree, dove right into the business, and done everything in the central station. So CMS is I think we're in the top 4 or 5 in size in the country. So I've been through several owners and have maintained CMS as an independent, I'd like to think anyway. So I've navigated a lot of change. I've dealt with bigger corporations, but at the heart of CMS, we deal with the same people that Jake and Colby and Jana have talked about. It's the independent dealer. We've monitored for companies as large as Vivint back in the day, to a locksmith and everything in between. So I think I've got a pretty good handle on what's what these alarm dealers are facing. And I think what I bring to the table is a an experience navigating change. And I think our industry, the industry is consolidating, and the rate of change with technology that I'm seeing on our side of the business with things like conversational AI, I think it's important to have a strong association that can provide leadership and definitely education, but a focus on navigating the change in the industry so we can continue to be a healthy industry and we can continue to have healthy members. So, I think that's what I bring to the table. I've 36 years in May doing this, and I would like to give back to the industry. So that's my story.
Thanks, Tony. So Hannah, I think I have a problem. And my problem is all four of these candidates are very qualified, and I don't know, I don't know who I'm going to vote for. And I mean that seriously. You guys, I applaud you. I applaud you for being here. I applaud you for giving back and wanting to give back, whether a board member or serving on a task force or a committee. And most importantly, we're a group of not only colleagues, but friends. And so the reality, whoever the successful candidate is, they are probably going to call on the other three to have them help the successful candidate in navigating the first couple of years on the board. And that would be a recommendation, because we never stop learning. To a lot of you brought that up today. So I want to thank you all very, very much. And I want to repeat the dates for the listeners as well. Ballots will go out May 12th. They are due back to Jake Bronger from ESA on June 6, 2025 at 2 p.m. And that's all on the ballot. So you don't have to worry about those dates, but just keep that in your mind. And then I will notify everyone. I will call each one of you independently and let you know, because that's what I do. I feel very strongly that it should not be an email. It should come directly from me. I want to thank you all very, very much again for volunteering to step up. So Hannah, I'll let you close it out.
Absolutely. Thanks again for all of you coming on the podcast today, sharing everything with our listeners about what you bring to the table and what makes you feel called to volunteer with ESA. Thank you, listeners who tuned in. Make sure to subscribe. We're on all podcasting platforms, and the full video version of our episodes are available on YouTube. And if you're curious about how ESA membership can power your business, please visit our website at www.esaweb.org and schedule a discovery call with our awesome team over there. Have a great day, Security Pros.